XRP is currently sitting around $2.16, just moving sideways for now. Personally, I'd stay on the cautious side at the moment, and that's mainly because of Bitcoin. If BTC pushes past the $103,000 level or anywhere near that zone, we could see a serious downturn. Things might get messy, so caution is key today. In this video, we'll be breaking down both the bullish and bearish factors shaping the market right now. Now here's something exciting from the XRP community. This part's wild. Cryptomaniac just returned to the scene with a big message. You have no clue what's coming. That's huge. Sounds like we're gearing up for a serious roller coaster, not just in price, but emotionally too. Buckle up. On the bullish side, $10 million worth of RLUC tokens were recently minted at the RLUC treasury. That could signal fresh capital flowing into the ecosystem. But here's the real kicker. Breaking news. Canada just launched the very first XRP spot ETF on the Toronto Stock Exchange. It's called the 3IQ XRP ETF, currently priced at $13 CAD, roughly 10 United States dollars. That's massive. And it's not the only one. There's also the Purpose ETF. According to 3IQ, this new listing is a big step toward giving investors simplified, cost-efficient, and regulated access to digital assets, and this could be the beginning of something much larger. Even Coinbase's chief legal officer chimed in, reminding everyone that regulatory clarity is what fuels real innovation. Canada is once again ahead of the game. They were first to launch Bitcoin ETFs back in 2021, and now they've done it again with XRP. So what does this mean? The US is falling behind. But history shows us that when Canada moves, America follows. It's very likely we'll see US-based XRP ETFs approved soon, possibly later this summer. XRP ETFs has consistently shown strong growth over the past 10 years, and this new ETF gives Canadian and even global investors an efficient, transparent, and secure way to tap into that momentum. Everyone's jumping in right now, it's clear. The demand is skyrocketing. And speaking of Canada, let me take you back for a second. Does anyone remember Mark Carney? He's a major insider, former Bank of Canada head, former governor of the Bank of England. Yeah, that guy. And what he said still echoes today. In a multipolar world, you need a multipolar currency. You see what's happening. This isn't just coincidence. These moves are calculated. It's always been about XRP. Now, check this out. He was asked a simple question. Why can't the dollar just stay the global currency? His answer, it's more complex than that. Sure, the dollar is currently king, but here's the problem. America's share of the global economy has been shrinking. And while the dollar is still heavily used in global trade and finance, there are tons of transactions happening between countries that don't even involve the US, yet they're still using USD. That creates distortion. Right now, the US economy is relatively strong, props where they're due. The Fed has tightened monetary policy in response. But that tightening creates pressure worldwide. Other countries end up having to adopt tougher policies than necessary, just to keep up. It's like a global chain reaction, and it drags everyone down, including the US. In the end, and when governments have limited tools left to respond, that becomes a dangerous game. So the real problem here isn't just trade, it's the monetary system itself. Now, you don't just flip a switch and replace the dollar overnight. It's a long road. But Carney's message is crystal clear. With multiple economic power centers, the US, Europe, China, we need a currency system that reflects that. A single currency world no longer makes sense, and that's the big question. How do we transition into this multipolar currency era? He's laid out the blueprint, and if you ask me, XRP might just be at the center of it all. Let's take a look at how things currently work. Banks are still relying on outdated methods to communicate and settle transactions. It's far from efficient. But now imagine inserting XRP into the mix. That's what it was built for. XRP becomes the key component. And it's not just XRP. The XRP ledger brings a suite of powerful use cases with it. It's like getting the main dish with a bunch of bonus sides. Once XRP is introduced into the traditional banking system, something incredible happens. The way banks interact completely transforms. Transactions become seamless, faster, and cheaper. XRP acts as a neutral bridge that links institutions around the world. No favoritism, no bias. Just clean, efficient value transfer. This is how the transition happens, and let's zoom back in on Canada for a moment. It's becoming clear Canada is incredibly bullish on XRP. The country isn't just pushing forward directly through today's launch of XRP ETFs, but it's also been showing support in more subtle ways for years. Just think back to what we covered earlier, former central bank heads hinting at the need for a new global currency model. Now you might ask, what about the United States? Are they on board? Slowly but surely, yes. The US is taking careful steps forward. Case in point, the recent updates around the Genius Act. I love seeing this progress. Once that bill crosses the finish line and becomes law, we could see explosive movement in the crypto space. And here's my take. They'll likely time that perfectly with a crypto rally. Maybe not just yet, but it's coming. This bill is actually aligned with bigger moves in Europe too. We've got the MiCA regulations already rolling out. And here's a major highlight. Stablecoin issuers will be required to maintain one-to-one reserves with full transparency. No more shady practices, just a crystal clear system where every token is properly backed. We're inching closer and closer to a transparent, regulated next-gen financial system, and XRP might just be sitting at the center of it all. Could we see a sudden move to the upside? It's possible, but I wouldn't risk trading these minor fluctuations. Personally, I'm holding out for the bigger plays which I believe are coming. It's just a matter of time. Now, here's something interesting. Mr. Poole just dropped a post referencing June 19th, 6/19th, the imagery. A shocked expression. That kind of symbolism hints that something could be around the corner. There's more. Another 6/19th post shows someone staring intently at their phone. Could it be news-related? Maybe something tied directly to XRP, or possibly a broader external event that affects everything. The world stage is chaotic right now. Anything could spark a shift. Even stranger. Mr. Poole dropped a weird tweet featuring squishy balls and more shocked emoji faces. All of this again tied to June 19th. Is this just coincidence? Or is a major event on the horizon? Could it be a black swan, something totally unexpected and market-breaking, or maybe a white swan, something positive but rare? Then there's one more post from him, -6/19 again, but this time with imagery that's bloody. That's not nothing. That could be a warning to stay alert in the days or weeks ahead. Now, from a market structure standpoint, I don't think the real bottom is in yet. That's just my personal view, so I'm staying cautious. Remember, if Bitcoin breaks above $103,000, I've said it before, I believe that's a potential death signal, a fake out. I'll explain more in the next video, but based on the data I'm seeing, a drop to $88,000 could be in play. XRP might also make a short-term move upward to grab liquidity, classic market manipulation before plunging lower. This wouldn't be new. We've been seeing these traps. Price goes down, then up, then down, up and again. It's been following a tight cycle. So the most logical pattern continuation. Another push up before the next leg down. Basically, we're in a consolidation phase, just grinding sideways, waiting for a trigger event. And that trigger will most likely be news-related. Something big. Right now, my advice: don't jump into anything just yet. This market is playing games. It's likely we see further downward pressure unless a major catalyst appears. And XRP is still tracking Bitcoin, so everything hinges on what happens next with BTC. So when the drop finally happens, don't get caught on the sidelines, guys. A ton of liquidity is sitting at the lower levels, not just for Bitcoin, but also for XRP. Massive buy zones are lurking down there, just waiting to be tapped. You don't want to be priced out when the move comes. Now, shifting gears, what just happened today? Welcome to Pound Town. That's right, London activates today. This is part of a cycle that goes live on the 18th of every month. As above, so below, as they say. According to Bob Cox, this is the timeline marker where London enters the scene, and that's when global currencies begin to align. Watch closely for possible world-shaking events. This could be a signal. Also strange. Today's date, June 18th, lines up with what some are calling a reversal point. Look back to June 18th, 2022, XRP hit its macro bottom at 29 cents. Only a few people saw that coming. That window, June 18th to July 15th, is known as the month of Seoul. The belief is that markets bottom during Seoul. And now, that exact time frame is in play again. If we get a dump now, and bottom right after Seoul ends, it would mirror the past exactly. We could see a new low, and then the bounce begins. Could history really be repeating? And there's more. Cryptomaniac, who recently re-emerged, tweeted something cryptic. Delay in progress. 2025 equals resume. That suggests things are being paused for now, with the real action kicking off again in 2026, possibly the true moonshot year. He also warned us, watch oil. Why? Oil prices just surged 5% after reports of a new geopolitical player joining the fray. I've been saying this was coming. This isn't random, this is orchestrated, and we're not done yet. A powerful X1.2 class solar flare just erupted. This could mess with satellites, knock out radio signals, and even trigger geomagnetic storms. Coincidence? Or part of the bigger puzzle? Here's where it gets wild. Iran is currently suffering a near-total internet blackout. As of now, only 3% of the country has online access. Think about that. We've always said, during the collapse we'd see global blackouts, and now the dominoes are falling. Even the whales are going quiet. Mr. Poole predicted the 6/18th bottom, to the exact day. You can't make this up. He even referenced the sun, and now we have literal solar flares disrupting Earth. Bob Cox also dropped the Fountain of Eternity Zero, a callback to a more peaceful time. People missed those days, because what we're living in now is chaos on every level, and it's not over yet.